Hi. Do you like how that constantly says? I keep moving it to say free, and then it keeps constantly saying frei, Frie, like arbeit man frei, like works will set. Isn't that funny? And I swear, I'm not doing that. It's doing it itself. It somehow keeps moving back, and it's not even an e. It's not even an I. It's an e. It's like frei, which means free in German, and that means free. So look, imagine just like that is a tiny little bit of movement, and that's just a little bit of paper. And I'm saying something so dramatic when I'm saying that. Do you know? It's like, ha ha. Armenbein, you thought I was in the fucking Nazi fucking hardjacker King G concentration camp. Turns out you're in the fucking concentration. Like, and Groot's just like, I am Groot. And I'm sitting here chewing on Johnson & Johnson fucking nicotine covered in aluminium. Fucking covered in aluminium foil because I'm addicted to nicotine because I smoked cigarettes covered in alfoil. And it turns out that this whole ungodly thing started with fucking Reynolds. It's not even Ryan Reynolds' family. And Ryan Reynolds' families, they were like wholesale thing, quite like my family. And they were, and then he was a Mountie as well. And I wanted to be a Mountie. We could both be Mounties. Maybe we are both Mounties. And just quietly as well, I grew up in Sawyers Valley, and then I moved to Mount Helena, which everyone calls Mounties. Looks like we're Mounties. Like me and Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, we're like Mounties. And we're here to like a century's worth of insanity in which some fucking knobheads in Virginia grew tobacco, poisoned the world with tobacco, needed to develop aluminum foil to wrap their tobacco in. I'm not sure of the exact trajectory of this. Like, then they needed to aluminium, so they made they've got the things, which is what you do. And it's called like, the technical business term. This is why I failed small business, but it's called I call it top to bottoming it. So you control the whole supply chain. And this is what's so funny. So they bought the bauxite mines and the refine, and then it's like then they needed aluminium to make the nuclear bombs, which also killed so many people. So I think it's like if I address and say I go, okay, well, cigarettes and tobacco killed my father, so there's a tobacco war, then there's a tobacco war going on here again, right? So this is why I call it war profiteering. It's like, so there is a continued American invasion of the world, of the British Empire. They never stopped. They poisoned the world with tobacco. They then built a fucking nuclear bomb and dropped it on fucking Japan. They then perpetuated an arms race using this aluminum. My guess is that all the excess fluoride they fucking hid in our water supply. They also, I'm guessing then, like, this explains the fucking the chemtrails. It's like they're not trying to do anything. Except, I'm guessing that's how they get rid of their fucking radioactive fucking aluminium. They fucking they buzz it into powder and then disperse it in fucking aeroplanes. The same aeroplanes made out of aluminium that are going to drop bombs. And it's like, yeah, but why? What's the point? It's like, and now this like has ended to like a company. Apparently, like we in Australia, we have Glad Wrap, which is already ridiculous. It's like you can buy. It's like it's the craziness of retail retail commodification, that is a war on my traditional family businesses. And I think it turns out Ryan Reynolds' family business as well. Because as soon as everything became individually wrapped, what do they wrap it in? They wrap it in fucking in alfoil or in Glad wrap. And it's like, are you telling me that the company that had to go and buy a bauxite mine and refine aluminium for the fucking whatever to make nuclear bombs and cover every packet of cigarettes doesn't know how to responsibly distribute fucking retail level aluminium? It's like, no, that's this cash cow that's been flogged off. How is it possible that our capitalist system worked that badly unless there is this level of like control, this fucking concentration camp control? There's no way. You know what I mean? Basically, like, I'm a business person. It's like I'll just fucking barge in. I don't care that it has a name on it, and that name isn't fucking good. And I'm like, I don't even know what this fucking Graham Hart. But see what happens when you buy my fucking, my family's estate. I don't even care if you're not related to the other fucking Graham Hart that's also a fucking orthopedic surgeon, because your dad was also a medical professional. So it's clear, it's like somehow they built fucking communism, pretended that we were at war with communism, and then built the most hellish version of communism. And that's why they've had to constantly parade this war against Russian communists and Chinese communists, because it's like their version is way worse. It's so fucking bad. So bad. At every level. This is why it's like you should go to a shop and buy a kilo of flour and stick it in your own container. You know what I mean? You buy a whole chicken. It's like, that's part of it. And this is what I'm saying. Like this, when I said that the women of the British Empire hijacked it, it's like this is what you built. You built this fucking hell so you could go and buy some Reynolds wrap. And this is like that. That's like, it's weird. Like, we don't have, like, I think Glad does somehow the alfoil market, I don't know, wasn't cornered here, which seems weird. It's like, you're in New Zealand, mate. Couldn't you get your fucking Reynolds wrap here? And I'm here to say, that's a wrap. That's a wrap on the Reynolds wrap. Yeah? That's the wrap, folks. Ryan Reynolds is here to put a wrap on that, to fucking tie it. He's got to fucking defend his family name, who are just hardworking Mounties. And I'm sitting there calling him Van Wilder and saying all this shit, because probably some of the Reynolds thought we were going to, no, there's a pretty good looking fucking rooster that's fucking popped up in Canadian land. Let's get him down and fucking splash a bit of the Reynolds fucking cash around at him and get in. And then I think his conscience, I think he's fucking done some discoveries. I think he's a bit of a fan of some type of strange Australian fucking streamer, because I supplied mirrors that had aluminium frames, responsibly sourced and all that, to Whopper, and Whopper let Hugh know, and Hugh let fucking, it's 1 degree of separation and all that shit. And my mum used to work for Alcoa, which was owned by the fucking Reynolds Metals. So this is an employment. So I'm going to go dead peasant this fucking shit and go all the way back to the fucking employment records of Alcoa Jarradale and fucking expose the fact that my mother worked there. And then she went like a pretty clear line through this fucking system, through this military industrial complex, from the Australian Army signals all the way to NASA, all the way to fucking Alcoa. It's like, they're all the same fucking thing. They're all the fucking United States fucking government, aren't they? Oh, fucking dead peasants. Oh, how much does the United States government owe for doing this, for this absolute fucking pure and simple fucking crime, this warmongering, this war fucking profiteering for a fucking long time? I'd say they owe me shitloads of money. They owe everyone shitloads of money, and they don't have it. They haven't got the money. We just have now, like, we have a fucking gigantic problem and a gigantic mess. But the first thing we need to do is like, okay, we need to basically segment a certain age, because there's no doubt it's like there's a point where this became impossible, and hopefully this is not too glitchy, to escape from, and that's before I was born. That's 2 years before I was born. So somehow I've escaped the prison I was put in 2 years before I was born. In the prison that was, coerced, led into under employment arrangements with the United States fucking entities and these private metals industries, and then had my children kidnapped by the same fucking industry while I'm an industrial professional in that material. It is fucking shocking. And then it's like at this level, we don't need nuclear submarines, because I've just shown you how ridiculous all of that is by fucking holding a pretend fucking nuclear device above Tasmania. And this is all we're ever going to end up getting to, because we're in a completely different era. Like, it's like the thing you built to contain us all has glitched, malfunctioned, and is now obviously exposing all of this shit. Do you know? It's like the level of business activity I'm doing is so ridiculous, and I'm sitting there competing with, and I'll draw it on the map now, because we've got to now. This is basically what's going to happen. Is like this Ukrainian oligarch in Tasmania has put a target on Tasmania, so Tasmanians should have a problem with that. Now, I'll say as well that my sister, who's very much involved in all of this nonsense, her boyfriend, I'm guessing, is perhaps a covert homosexual, and I'm guessing my sister is a covert homosexual. He's a New Zealander. He's a Maori. And this Graham Hart fella whose family may or may not have fucking, profiteered from generations of medical fucking malpractice created by the thing. It's like they hurt you, and then that is some dark shit. They're like constantly poisoning and hurting you and doing, and then they're like they position themselves. That's communism. That's just what it ends up doing. But basically, because this fucking Graham Hart character lives in New Zealand, I've got to now blow up New Zealand as well. I've got to get an Elon Musk fucking nuclear bomb over New Zealand, right? And here's the fucking kicker. I was almost killed by 10 fucking Maoris. And so it's 2 birds, 2 stones. I get to completely wipe out the fucking and it's not like I haven't done it before. We've already wiped out the Tasmanian population. It's not really a big deal to just wipe out the Maoris at the same time, except it's not actually the Maoris causing this. So I think it's time for the Maoris to arrest this Graham Hart character, right, to appease my fucking case against their collective kingdom for attempted murder, and you know what I mean? And then you can arrest him, you can commandeer all his fucking assets, including Reynolds Wrap, right, which I will then, rebrand, and I'll give it a huge fucking discount, and I'll do that with the Trump thing, and I guess I'll do that, I think, with, I've seen his daughter Kai and her mum have they're doing a cooking thing, and it seems pretty cool. It's like mother and daughter. That's really good, wholesome content. But the only problem really seems to be this Reynolds Wrap, right? Because it's associated with the tobacco and with the nuclear bombs, and fucking all these things. And I guess we'll call it Wise Wrap, because as Shannon Wise, I'm putting a wrap. I'm wrapping it all up. This is a wrap, folks. Like it's a different, because Reynolds, it's like, and then it echoes into this fucking Canadian Canuck Australian rivalry that I've had with that fucking Van Wilder, and nobody's going to forget it. They're going to be like, remember when that Australian fucking crazy person said he was going to kill Van Wilder, then ended up just like disclosing that him and Ryan Reynolds are actually Mounties, and then they threatened to kill all the Maoris unless they arrested the guy that owns fucking Reynolds Wrap because he stole. Do you know what I mean? That's like a story then. That's a story. And this is the thing that we need to understand. George Washington was a royalist. Just that sentence, it's like, why isn't that? Like, we should have skywrite. We should stop fucking all that chemtrailing. We should just get skywriters to write above every American city. George Washington was a royalist. And it's President Day today. And I don't, like, this is all the gift that Mark Zuckerberg has given by this fucking interactive resource here. And obviously Alphabet and Google, as long as they don't make me fucking sign into my fucking handheld dog collar fucking, smartphone, I'm going to be okay with that. And Wise Rap, because I can't rap, but do you get it? It's like, I can't rap, but now thanks to Wise Rap, you can rap. And this will send a message out to everyone to not be a fucking communist, to not use your fucking elevated position in a medical fucking controlled fucking system of abuse to fund your son's ventures into fucking, ridiculously fucking, ridiculous arbitrage and war profiteering to provide, housewives with the illusion of fucking, premium fucking solutions to everyday kitchen needs, and not to steal historic houses that are filled with fucking ghosts. You know what I mean? It tells you not to just do a lot of things. Yeah. And I kind of am rapping here. If there was a beat, like I've done a few, I can occasionally but it always, that's what white people end up doing. There's a lot of like there's Hilltop Hoods, but I don't like them. There's that Bliss and Esso. I don't really like them either. I think basically in the new British Empire, we should make it illegal for white people to rap. Okay? The only legal way that you can rap as a fucking white person is 1, be Eminem, that's it. Or 2, you can use Wise Rap to wrap up your fucking cookies that you're going to take to your mum and apologise for all of the fucking tattoos that you got on yourself during this whole fucking war. Like, you've got to come back from the war now. Even if you saw her the other week, it's the end of a war. So you got to be like, that takes some, you got to be like, whoa, when did the war start? And when did I fucking get all these ridiculous tattoos like fucking Post Malone? And I've got to maybe get some Wise Rap and wrap up some fucking cookies that don't have marijuana in them and provide them to my mum and say, I'm sorry, mum, that I didn't realize all of this bullshit was going on. I was watching Ukrainian women stick fucking dildos inside themselves and paying $10 for it and buying vapes and illegal fucking, black market cigarettes because Roger Cook fucking, can't see the forest for the trees. Not even the fucking, Roger Cook can't see John Forrest for the trees as he attempts to fucking commandeer Kings Park like a drunken fucking blind mole. That's what I want to finally get to as well, is I want to get Keir Starmer's DNA checked because I believe he has a dormant series of British, particularly British DNA that we thought had gone extinct, which was the mole people of Brittany. The mole people of Brittany. They look like a little mole. They went underground. They lived underground in Britain when the Anglo-Saxons came. And they developed this very strange socialism that lived underground in the moles and the wind in the willows. And that he should be protected as a protected and very rare and endangered fucking mutant species more than likely, just stimulated by the radioactive nightmare from all the chemtrails of the uranium enrichment, disposed of aluminium dust that was being spread out by Alcoa. So I reckon I've got a pretty good case. I think I've got a pretty good case here. It's got lots of things, and it's all focused in on this, mainly on this main Nazi provocateur, this main Nazi SS guard with the name of Anthony Paul Moulding. We just need to make sure that he is fit and healthy to make the stand to get and to defend himself. Otherwise, it's going to land on his children, and his children are going to have to defend his actions. And that is why I'm hoping, although I'm not very optimistic, because obviously I've exposed that the entire socialized medical system is a giant war profiteering industry of very, very serious abuse and all these things. And I'm concerned that they are killing him to bury the evidence of their evil fucking scheme. So if somebody can please place Anthony Paul Moulding under arrest and put him in one of those fucking plastic fucking humidity cribs so that he is able to stand trial in the United Kingdom for crimes against humanity and for torture and chemical coercion, attempted manslaughter, probably murder, conspiracy. Like, I don't know. I have to get a lawyer. I have to get a real lawyer to try and bring all this. It might be Kim Kardashian. It might be RFK. It might be fucking Ronald McDonald, for all I know. It could be Daniel Day-Lewis playing the part of a fucking lawyer in England. And now I think that would be interesting. I think we could make that into a movie, and then we could then use the profits of that movie as like a charity to basically, I don't know, send the message. Like, we could fly leaflets written on wise wrap baking paper that we'll have excess, like the offcuts of that say, you are free. Stop paying tax. And that's because really it's the ultimate American Revolution, where on President's Day, George Washington's ghost has invoked and spoken through me with the Holy Spirit of Jesus Christ in the room as well, and God, of course, to finally have Independence Day and to bring the United States back to the British Empire, because the Washingtons had to leave England because an arsehole fucking Oliver Cromwell, killed our king. And he killed like a third of the fucking Irish people as well. And this is a fucking, it's just, you know what I mean? And once those pamphlets, and basically what it will say, like that, it'll say the most famous words that every United States, everyone on that island right now needs to understand. Little bit of suspense, and I hope I get the spelling right, because I'm notoriously bad at spelling. Oh shit! Right. This is why I couldn't be a sign writer, because I've stuffed this up. But hopefully, right. So these are going to fall from the sky like the uranium like the radioactive Reynolds wrap, aluminium fucking foil empire, and it's going to say no taxation without representation, just millions of them, right? With wise wrap written on the back, just so you know that it's wise wrap baking paper, sustainably sourced, environmentally friendly wise wrap, right? Just like, whoa, like that. Oh my God, no taxation without representation. And that will remind you of that Obama film that was made with Julia Roberts in it, except a bit different, a bit of a different twist. And you'll go, hang on, yeah. If this is all existing, obviously I don't have any representation. Why am I paying tax? And I'll say, welcome to the British Empire. Welcome. Like that. Welcome. On President's Day, I'll say, welcome to the British Empire. We are going to represent you as the British Empire. You always had representation. It just used to take longer. It used to take too long, and it was too complicated, and the people that left had a confused state of, understanding of the whole thing. And now we're at like, there we go. So now you have representation, and now you are all, as United States citizens, you are now able to vote in the first ever British Empire elections, and you have a big choice to vote in who you think can represent you. And I suggest Restore Britain. This Rupert Lowe, he's done his homework. I'm in full support of Restore Britain, and by Britain I mean the British Empire. Do you know what I mean? And this is all going to take effect. This is all going to go, you know what I mean? And I'm going to then kick the United States Army off my other family estate, which is called Mount Wise in Plymouth. And I'm going to say, get the fuck out of there. And I want a fucking full survey of what the fuck you did in that underground fucking nuclear facility. And they'll say, of course, Shannon, of course we're going to do that. We wouldn't dream of doing anything else. And then we can all have 3 cheers. 3 cheers for Britain. 3 cheers for the British Empire. 3 cheers for the King. I guess 3 cheers for Groot. 3 cheers for Groot as well. Well done, Groot. Well done, mate. He just sat there like a champion. Look how little he is as well. Like that. If Groot can do it, if Groot can sit here with snipers, there's a sniper on that roof. There's a explosive device that Jeremy Rockcliffe has just delivered, and I'm just sitting here in perpetual fucking torment, just sitting here going like, any minute now, this table is going to explode. This fucking strange, like glow in the dark fucking pyramid here is going to fucking explode. How do I... like that, you know what I mean? It's a risk. That could have just exploded. Anything really, like New Zealand, like I said, and Tasmania, all of them can just explode. And that does things. It does things to someone for a little while, and then you kind of get used to it. You're like, well, I hope I've left a little bit of a little bit of air left in the room for everyone to fucking work with, because I've covered a lot of territory. But there's still a lot of territory out there to cut. This is just what I've done this morning. You can uncover your own hideous fucking war profiteering conspiracy. Yeah. And I'm going to end with this, and I don't actually have any aluminium foil to really concrete this in. But and this shows how psychotic, how fucking, psychopathically fucking twisted these fucking Nazi cunts are, right? With their Ozempic and their Wegovy and their fucking Lego, right? The number one thing that you call a conspiracy theorist, right? That you say it's like this, it's always tinfoil. It's like you wrap your tinfoil hat, you wrap your house in tinfoil. It's that Mel Gibson movie. You know, his whole house is covered in tinfoil. It's like, it's all there, man. It's all fucking right there, man. You know what I mean? It's all right there. And that's what it is. It's like, and I suppose if you're, see, I'd never heard of Reynolds wrap. If I knew that I think that's the worst bit. We don't have Reynolds wrap here. And that's why they went, that Shannon Wise is here. If it's like, we could make this much money by selling Reynolds wrap in Australia, but if he sees Reynolds wrap, he's going to figure it out. And it took Donald Trump's granddaughter to have it just, you know, kind of on her thing. And I was just watching for the cooking content. Like, I was curious about, she eats a lot of frosting, which seems, that's a very American thing. I don't condone that type of diet, but the Reynolds wrap, I was like, fuck you. So yeah, no taxation without representation, but in that, just give Donald a little bit of a round of applause. He's not perfect. In fact, he's far from perfect, right? He's absolutely ridiculously far from being perfect. That's why there's no way he's going to be the King of Scotland, okay? And he missed the boat, well and truly. But one of his descendants, maybe, if you know, who knows? It's a randomly chaotic world, and you know, matters of the heart and all that. But give him a round, like, just like that. Like, oh my God, Don. Because Don is like, he's a man after my own heart. It's like, he didn't need to do that shit at all. And really, neither did I. It just, I wasn't on, in my situation I was aware of, I wasn't technically in a position as luxurious as Donald Trump, but I still didn't need to do it. And that's the point. When people do things that they don't need to do, the world is better. And when people sell you fucking 20 cents of fucking aluminium foil for $7, they're fucking criminals, and they're profiteering from war that was funded by a fucking tobacco fucking, like, mass murder in Japan, nuclear fucking enrichment, and more than likely a global pollution catastrophe that makes plastic. It's head to head with plastic, but probably worse. I don't know. They're just fucking bad. Try not to think about it too much, right? It is bad, but we will endeavour to create solutions and hopefully make sure this shit doesn't happen again. But yeah, no taxation without representation. So the United States government is now bankrupt. But everybody stay calm, settle down, because the British Empire is right there to fucking step in, and you are all going to have a wonderful fucking election to vote in your representative for the Prime Minister, I guess. You know, that's some democracy shit. I'm in a different field. So wonderful. And I guess, yeah, I've got a pretty good case. So let's set the trial for, let's say, to give it enough time for preparation, let's set the trial for a year's time, February 17th, 2027, in the United Kingdom, and all representatives that I've mentioned, so that's my sister, Mark McGowan and Anthony Paul Moulding, are to attend the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom to front charges of attempted murder and kidnapping, chemical coercion, and conspiracy to commit genocide and war profiteering. So all of those things. So that'll give you enough time to get initial, consultations and legal representation and legal advice, and I suppose all the onflow from that as well. And Godspeed to Jeremy Rockcliffe and the Maori the kingdom of the Maoris, and hopefully they can save their little islands. But yeah, it's it's going to take an effort. It's going to take a Herculean effort for these underdog tribal backwards fucking Neanderthal fucking loincloth mongrel mob fucking once were warriors to go and commandeer all of those war profiteers. And the same applies to the backwards two-headed fucking inbred Tasmanians. It's going to take an effort, but I think that Garbo has it under control. Just quietly, I think he's got the medicine that the Tasmanians need in order to get the courage to arrest their premier. So wonderful day, happy President's Day, and God save the King.